I feel very honored and humbled to be here because what we are seeing today is the collaborative work of a lot of people, especially our hub leads on the ground all over sub-Saharan Africa. We have quite a few of them here. And as the day go on, we will get to know more and more of them.
Being in the summit here in Nairobi means a great deal for WADA, just to prove to the wider Cardano community that Africa was capable of doing its summit.
Cardano Africa Tech Summit 2026! Yeah!
Being in Kenya means a lot for the Blockchain Center, often companies that's trying to reach grassroots movement in the Silicon Valley of Africa.
Being in Nairobi, Kenya right now for Rejuve Biotech feels very intentional for us. It's an opportunity to come in and be part of building something from the ground up.
I want Rejuve to be, for the African market especially, I want Rejuve to be part of building the infrastructure that puts Africa on, like literally on the map for contributing to the turning point in personalized medicine.
Kenya's an emerging economy, and any startup business needs to be looking at the African market now, or you'll get left behind.
Being here for the Cardano Africa Tech Summit, especially for Adama, is very key, mostly because we're connecting with the builders, we're connecting with ecosystem partners that make a difference in the builders' journeys, and we just want to showcase what's possible in Kenya.
Being here for the CAT Summit 2026 is critical to our operation in terms of connecting with partners, investors, and the bigger developer ecosystem.
CAT being here in Nairobi means it's part of the ecosystem, and it partnerships within the ecosystem, and it digs deeper into the ecosystem and not just observing it from the sidelines.
For the developers around here who want to build something on Hydra, what idea would you like to see?
I really want to see a micro payments built on Hydra, so users can deposit in some amount and then do a lot of microtransactions inside of the Hydra head at a very high frequency, maybe like a tip bot or something similar, and then it'll settle out at the end of the day or at the end of the week, and then maybe and then you go back in and you compete and you can continue doing that.
I'm here for the CAT Summit because this is a unique opportunity and unique ground for us to get our foot into an ecosystem of the intersection between AI and blockchain systems for the purpose of decentralization. So I think it was worth the trip.
This event is very important for myself and even for the entity that I work with. What I do is to coordinate with the hubs on ground in terms of the projects that we run every now and then. We have delivered 40 plus projects over the years. We are 5 years now. In fact, we are launching our WADA Impact Report as part of the event at CAT, and I will highlight most of the works that we have done over the years.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Cardano Africa Tech Summit here at the Sarit Centre in Nairobi. We're here with an amazing crowd, and it's going to be an amazing session. Please put your hands together if you're in the room. And if you're walking in right now, please find your seat, get your headphones, and we will have an amazing session.
This particular hackathon was different in the sense that we asked builders to walk their communities, identify the very problem that afflict their communities, and build solutions to solve these communities that afflict them day in, day out.
My name is Eden Nasiali. I'm representing the host nation Kenya from Cardano Hub in Bio, and this is our project Canopy.
This platform is Cardano enabled. Africa is integrating to the FCFTA, African Continental Free Trade Area, 54 countries, combined population, 1.4 billion people. And then we are talking combined GDP of over $3.4 trillion. That creates a lot of opportunities for us as Africans.
It's a digital platform that helps Rwandan savings community groups to stay transparent, compliance with government rules and regulations through USSD and automated recording. Yes.
We started Tech Experience Africa in Q4 2025. And since then, we've done a couple of experiences. We've done things in Kigali, in Rwanda, where we brought, businesses, tech founders, investors together for a dinner. We've done things here in Nairobi.
So the project Sanja is a project that comes to solve that issue. Bring back the wisdom, the knowledge that was infused in the textile.
When we talk about blockchain, I think the first thing that comes to people's mind is you need a high tech. Even in the tech industry, is a high tech. So what we do to bring it is that we are bringing the blockchain into their Nokia phone. A keypad phone.
Being here in Nairobi, especially being on the WADA team, means so many things. So one, it means that there are so many other people who have projects, so many people who are working on the ground in Africa. They have a platform to meet. They have somewhere to all come together to see what other people are doing, to be able to present theirs as well, and then mostly get motivated, go back, do greater things in their community.
The CAS Summit has given us opportunity to tap into the Cardano network for a start, and also the community. The community is really huge here, especially with the work we do at Blockchain Centre and also the work we do at Light Donation. With Light Donation primarily driving dev incubation, and then Blockchain Centre trying to reach out to the larger community and seeing what potential or resources can we tap into the community that already existing to start building on the same technology that people are building on, and also giving more people opportunities.
We can look at Cardano, the community, the Cardano Foundation, Intersect, and a lot of the big entities within the Cardano community and sort of in the Web3 space.
Is there any key government milestone that entrepreneurs and developers should be looking forward to in the next maybe year or two?
The best thing for developers to look forward to in 2026 is the integrations that are happening. So we've just signed Pith, which is a pricing oracle, June, which is an analytics platform, USDCX, which is an obvious major stablecoin infrastructure partner. They're all becoming in the coming months. We've signed those contracts now, so they'll be integrating. And we've got a big announcement coming tomorrow, coming from Hong Kong and Consensus. So really, I think for the message for milestones for builders are that Cardano is no longer an isolated island anymore. It's going to be a very well-connected blockchain with all of the right fundamentals.
Africa is important. This continent has over 1.4 billion people. And Cardano is at the heart of it.
It is indeed a privilege to join you at the Cardano Africa Tech Summit on behalf of the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner of Kenya. I address you today as a regulator, a role that offers a practical view of how digital systems perform once they move from design to real-world use.
Really, it is a privilege to represent my principal secretary, who was supposed to be here with you at this year's Cardano Africa Tech Summit 2026.
From your perspective, what do you see currently as the biggest barrier to Cardano scaling from a solution perspective in the African region, and what can we do to overcome that?
As an African, I'm pretty old. I'm 31. The median age is 19. 80% of developers on the continent are under the age of 25, which is a massive, massive opportunity. And if we focus on the success stories of the top 5 digital economies in Africa, namely Kenya, Morocco, South Africa, Nigeria, and Egypt.
When we talk about the ecosystem, where do you see currently the biggest gaps between actual blockchain technology and then real-world usage on the ground in communities?
I think the real problem is in awareness of the situation that we have in Africa, especially the fragility index that we have in the whole continent. Currently, Africa has over 58% conflicts compared to the world. That's the percentage we have when it comes to actual conflicts, active conflicts. Not talking about border conflicts, not talking about ethnic conflicts that do exist. So we are, in a nutshell, we are almost at 75%. So those are real problems that we have.
Kenya is a mobile-first country. If you look at Africa, everybody's moving mobile, and we are actually embracing that very, very easily and very, we're able to use it very nice and easy without thinking too much about what is the technology behind it.
You run a very successful company in the Cardano space. and part of your current roadmap and expansion plans and strategy involve moving yourself certainly into the African market, which is something that you're currently working on. So it'd be great to get a bit of an insight in what that looks like, why you're doing that, and how that's progressing.
I got introduced to cryptocurrencies actually from Africa, specifically in Kenya in 2016 with a then startup, which ended up becoming a global company. What I learned back in the day is Africa shouldn't be looked as one country. Every country should be looked individually because the dynamics, the regulatory aspects, the population, the way they transact, their mindsets is very, very different.
So I'll quickly guide us through the different breakout rooms. In breakout room number 1, and this will be the breakout room number 1, this is the main stage right here. So if you are interested in this conversation, you remain seated here. We have the enterprise track, and this session looks at real-world blockchain implementation from Africa and beyond.
Right now, we're in a session where we have multiple breakout rooms going on. So one room is going to be talking about governance, how it works, how people can be able to engage and create governance that is stable and secure. The second room is talking about emerging trends. We're going to hear from the ladies in the tech space, in the blockchain space, what they're building and what opportunities are there for the women. And lastly, we're going to be talking about the hubs that all of the Cardano associates, all of the people that are building from Kenya to Cameroon to Ghana, Ethiopia, all of these amazing opportunities are here for you. And we're doing this in real time so that you can be able to engage and see what opportunities and possibilities lie in for Africa.
When will you be able to pay with stable coins the bananas that you buy in the street instead of using M-Pesa? Will that even happen in a country where payments are so easy?
When I look at blockchain, the idea of development, especially working with new developers on figuring out new problems, coming up with new tools and not using old tools to come and solve these new problems. So I'm here also to learn, to be able to say that the creative economy is real. I know that it's not only a local issue, this is a global issue as well.
This is not just another event. This is actually the final stop of a global journey. We began in Rare Evil in the United States, we moved then to Brazil, then to Argentina, gathered in Berlin for our flagship summit, continued in Bangalore for India Blockchain Week, and now we close here in Nairobi. Ending in Africa was not symbolic, it was intentional, because Africa is not just the peripheral to the future of blockchain. It is central. Let's acknowledge something openly. We are in a market correction right now. Prices are down, sentiment is shaken, headlines are loud. I just joined CNBC last week, also speaking about that. But this is actually not something new. Every meaningful technology shift has followed this pattern. The internet, the mobile phone, cloud, AI, and AI will have another downturn again. Speculation builds these waves. Infrastructure builds the future. And corrections separate hype from builders. If you are in this room today, you're not here for the hype, you're here to build. This is our second major gathering in Africa. In 2024, Nairobi hosted one of only 2 global constitutional conventions alongside Buenos Aires. 24 of 50 countries represented were African. 1 in 5 delegates were African. That was not symbolic participation. That was governance participation. And today, more than 300 are in this room, I'm told. I saw a picture. 12 African countries are represented. Over 1,200 hackathon registrations. This is not passive adoption. This is active ownership. And I thank you all for this.